The deep state, the globalists, the enemies of America, well, they're really pulling out all the stops right now to try to stop America from staying independent and sovereign, not going into a world government, and controlling its own destiny. And part of that process, obviously, is to do everything they can to demonize Trump, bring him down, put him into a corner. And then, of course, they've got the censorship with censoring people on social media like Diamond and Silk, who we've got coming up in the next hour. And now they're taking it to even new levels of what, to me, looks like straight-up political racketeering, which is pretty suspicious that this would be going on in Massachusetts, where Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai is running against one of the lead swamp creatures, Elizabeth Warren. Now, Dr. Shiva has made headlines in the past with some of his campaign tactics, offering Elizabeth Warren a DNA test because she said she was an Indian when she's not, challenging her on Monsanto and the policies that she's had with Monsanto. But now it's gone to a new low. There is the bus right there. Now, this bus sits outside of Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai headquarters. Only a real Indian can defeat the fake Indian. Well, now local law enforcement has threatened Shiva with a fine of $300 a day if he does not remove that billboard from the bus that sits in front of his office in Massachusetts. Now, Dr. Shiva, I have to say, when I first heard about the story and I'm looking into this, I don't know if you've sought any counsel from attorneys or anything like that, but how is this not political racketeering? This seems to me like straight up, cold cut case, political racketeering.
Well, Owen, you got to understand, Massachusetts is one of the most corrupt states in all of the United States. I think in the last public integrity report, it was rated 47th out of 50. The entire state runs on racketeering. If you really think about it, the only thing that produces anything in Massachusetts is probably the high-tech workers and the working people. MIT produced 33,000 jobs. Businesses, which created about $2 trillion in annual revenue for the U.S. GDP, but everything else is complete racketeering. That slogan that you just read, only a real Indian can defeat the fake Indian, is what bothers them. For nearly 14 months, as you know, the bus is, it's my building. We don't have any logos or banners on the building, but that bus used to have the slogan which said, Shiva, fight for America. Prior to St. Patrick's Day, we changed it to this slogan, which, as you know, you guys showed it in St. Patrick's Day. Millions of people just loved it. So subsequent to that, we got apparently the city of Cambridge said they got anonymous complaints saying we need to take that slogan down. So it's completely political racketeering, but more importantly, it's violation of the free speech, probably violation of the 14th Amendment, equal protection. So obviously we seek counsel, and we're not going to let them do this. In fact, Owen, to everyone listening, we're going to escalate this. We're probably going to get another bus and probably 3 more pickup trucks. And that symbol, only the real Indian can defeat the fake Indian. Anyone who's listening, we have a supplier who supports our campaign. You can get it on the side of your own vehicle. Just go up to our website and donate $100 or more, and we'll ship it out to you. But the bottom line is, Owen, what you're looking at is that the left and the right hates that slogan because we're the ones who are seen as a real opposition to Warren. Because the right wing, I don't want to say right wing, but the establishment in Massachusetts, the GOP establishment, has no intent of beating Elizabeth Warren. They coddle to her. In fact, you have Charlie Baker, who's taking selfies with her at the St. Patrick's Day. He didn't even have the decency to attend the vice president's dinner event, nor did he send anyone. So you're looking at total collusion of the sewer rats which feed the swamp in D.C.
Well, and it tells me, though, but it tells me how threatened they are by you, that they are willing to go with such blatant political racketeering. It really shows that you're scaring the establishment in Washington. It really shows you're scaring Elizabeth Warren. And so they call you, and you're telling me they say they have anonymous complaints about your bus. They're saying people are calling in with anonymous complaints?
Yeah, one of our campaign managers behind me, Mike Mosca, talked to the city of Cambridge, and he said, look, this is, you're the building department. What jurisdiction do you have on a bus? Okay, this is a bus. So the next thing they're going to do is probably start regulating all of us driving around in our vehicles. And if we start posting whatever rights we have on free speech, symbols that we want on our own vehicles.
Exactly. This is beyond political racketeering. This is now an attack on free speech. Because what are they going to say? You can't have a bumper sticker that says anything? I mean, you can't have a bumper sticker that says Make America Great Again? I mean, that's where this goes.
That's exactly where it goes. The other interesting thing, Owen, is on Monday is Patriots Day. Everyone should remember the first shot was fired for the revolution in Lexington. In Lexington, Concord, where one of the first battles took place, is a academy. And you got to check this out. This was just even more breaking news than this. A Concord Academy, a nice elitist school. The headmaster of that school apparently released an announcement. One of the students who's afraid of being ostracized just wrote to me and he said the headmaster told all the students that there's going to be misogynists, there's going to be racist, anti-Muslim people coming to our city to do a Patriots Day event. And they're referring to us, and we're concerned about the safety of our children with these guys. So that's what's going on. So it's awesome for us in many ways, spectacularly awesome, because you remember what happened with the free speech rally, right? 40 of us against 40,000, and it was truly a free speech rally. We fought for free speech. And here again, it's Elizabeth Warren. She's who's unleashed the city of Cambridge, because they're all, as you say, I think the word you use, political racketeering, is absolutely right, Owen. That's what's going on. And that's what, Massachusetts has always been known for. That's why.
Well, this is why Massachusetts needs you. But this is why Massachusetts needs Shiva Ayyadurai. This is why the Senate needs Shiva Ayyadurai, because you're a fighter and you're also a very brilliant man. You happen to be the inventor of email, but they won't credit you with that. The left will actually act like you don't even exist. But I wanted to know, and you already talked about this, what is your response to this? I mean, are you going to take the billboard down? No, you're going to put more billboards out there. So what are they going to do? When you put more billboards out there, you expand this fake Indian campaign, and they continue to levy fines against you. How is this going to go?
Well, look, we're going to escalate. What you do is when they attack you, you escalate, because we know that fundamentally what we've done is that both sides are afraid of us, and we need to escalate. Bottom line is, and the people love that slogan. Only a real Indian can defeat a fake Indian. And why do they like it? Because I'm a real American, you're a real American, and fundamentally the core of what we're saying is the real Indians, real Americans, if you go to real indigenous people, we lived in decentralized environments, right? We lived with nature. We supported local governance. We didn't support the deep state and centralized government. That slogan goes at the heart of the deep state. And our goal is to destroy the deep state. And the center of the deep state is right here in Massachusetts. Both the Mass GOP and the Democratic Party are the sewer, literally the center of the deep state. And what we are conducting right here, Owen, is a second American Revolution. That's what's taking place in Massachusetts. And everyone listening out there, all of you should start putting up this banner, only a real Indian can defeat the fake Indian, because I'm telling you, that's going to become the dog whistle of this next revolution that's coming, because people are tired of, look what just happened to Trump. They're invading his lawyers' offices, violating.
Yeah, you know what? And I want to get into that on the other side with you. But I'm telling you that you really have to have them afraid right now. If they're willing to do this blatant racketeering, if they're willing to try to levy these fines against you to get you to take down these posters. And, another thing, Elizabeth Warren has been pretty silent lately. You haven't really heard much from Elizabeth Warren. It sounds like she's trying to stay out of the press right now. And I think that's another sign that you have her scared.
I think both sides had a huddle and probably told her to go to Beijing for a while. That's where she is, thinking she's some great statesman or something, and probably colluding with the Chinese against the American people. Chinese government, that is. That's what Elizabeth Warren's really up to. But the bottom line is, Owen, we're going to escalate this. We're in the middle of getting another big bus that's going to also say only a real Indian can defeat a fake Indian. Frank, who's right behind me, is a local electrician who lives up in Massachusetts. He built everything we do. We built that bus on our own by citizens and students. We painted it on our own. There's no people that we're relying on to go buy a bus.
Yeah, you're the real deal, and they're scared to death of you getting in. They hate that slogan because it's so real, and now they're trying. They're essentially bribing you. This is nuts. Take that sign down, or we're going to fine you. How about kiss my ass? This is America. What if you told Elizabeth Warren you will remove the bus and the sign from the office if she agrees to take the DNA test? What about that? I want you, don't provide an answer. Just contemplate on that. But it's just incredible. So now they're censoring your free speech and they're engaging in political racketeering, all because they're afraid you might get in and shake things up.
Yeah, I mean, Owen, I mean, the bottom line is that slogan, only a real Indian can defeat the fake Indian, pretty much says it all, not only against Warren, but it says it against all these career politicians. Because, look, they're all fakes. None of them are real people. They don't solve any real problems. In fact, they don't know how to solve a problem. You look at Elizabeth Warren and what she's actually done in Massachusetts, and it's been zilch. For that matter, for this country, what she has done is created an environment where we've consolidated the deep state. We essentially have the highest income inequality in Massachusetts. The average net worth of a poor black person is $8, literally within a 2-mile distance from her own home. And then you look at the situation that for every 17 skilled job openings in Massachusetts, only one person is skilled. And meanwhile, Harvard runs as a tax-free hedge fund, $40 billion. She never says anything about them. Nor does Charlie Baker, who's a quote-unquote a Republican governor. In fact, out of the 3 guys running against Warren and the Republicans, one of them is backed by the Saudis. The Saudi Robichaud, I'm sorry, we call her Holly Robichaud, the campaign manager for one of them, was funded by the Saudis to manipulate veterans into going to lobby against a bill which was to protect 9/11 victims. And that's one of the quote-unquote Republicans who actually, we just found out that he was a Democrat because he voted for Joe Biden less than a decade ago, and he's been a Democrat as long as Warren's been a Democrat. That's what's going on in Massachusetts. None of these people want to take on the deep state because they're part of the deep state. That's why that slogan is so powerful, and that's why we saw millions coming out on St. Patrick's Day, blacks, white, Indians, people of all color, cheering us on. Only a real Indian can defeat the fake Indian.
And that's why they're trying to shut it down. And that's why they're trying to shut it down. And this is the type of campaign you run. Just creative, outside of the box, and they hate it. They hate it. So you know what? You wanted to get in a street fight with Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. Well, you picked the wrong guy because now you're going to have 12 buses and you're going to have street signs, and only a real Indian can defeat a fake Indian is now just going to go viral. So thank you to the city and to the state of Massachusetts for engaging in political racketeering against Shiva Ayyadurai. You might be a little racist. We won't go there yet. You might be a little racist for engaging in political racketeering against Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai, but we'll save that for later. But doctor, before we let you go here, you were mentioning something very important in the last segment, and it's very precedent setting. Not is it just precedent setting what you're dealing with this racketeering, but also what now the FBI is doing at Mueller's behest, going in, raiding lawyers' offices. Talk about the dangers of the precedent being set right now by Mueller, his team, and the FBI, where they can just raid anyone. They're lawless. They're above the law, unelected, can investigate in anybody. And it's just like Russian collusion. No, they're investigating anything. Talk about that dangerous precedent.
Well, look, the reason we had a revolution in this country was because of illegal search and seizure, right? Let's not forget that. We had the fact that the British were telling us what weapons we could have and what weapons we could not have. They were seizing them. Tell me, Owen, what is different right now than that climate? When the personal lawyer of the President of the United States gets raided and his material gets removed, you're first of all violating attorney-client privileges, but more importantly, you're violating the fundamentals of what this country is, that you can have the right to legal counsel and it's protected from the state. And Mueller doing this either for one of 2 reasons: to force Trump's hand, so he does something against Mueller. I have a theory that you see Paul Ryan, one of the, when Paul Ryan, when John McCain, and then when you have someone like Howard Dean, all on the same side. Think about what's going on with Syria. They all want Trump to go bomb the hell out of Syria now, right? And Putin. They want to start a war, and they want to put Trump as a scapegoat of that, because the deep state is essentially completely suffocating right now with the fact that people are rising up and they understand what's going on in this country. So they're trying to play chess moves. So separate from the fundamentals of the Constitution, in my view, being violated by what we saw happen with Cohen being attacked and a search and seizure, what's going on to us in Massachusetts. And also you have a scumbag, excuse my term, like Mark Zuckerberg. If anyone saw that hearing, it was a complete joke. Here's a guy who makes billions of dollars actually selling advertising. He sells data. And that whole thing is being sort of whitewashed over in these hearings as though, they're setting it up where he'll probably apologize. He'll make some idealist comments. And the net of it is they're going to throw Cambridge Analytica, one of their customers, under the bus, who was simply using the data that they have the right to use based on how Facebook said that they could use the data. So, in my view, we're living in a very, very important time. You have a slogan like real Indian, fake Indian being attacked. You have people being not allowed, censored on Facebook, and an organization deciding what's hate speech, what's not hate speech, and then you have the president of the United States lawyer being raided. I mean, how much worse is it going to get? So
exactly. They censor. So that's exactly it. They censor the digital platform, like getting Diamond and Silk off Facebook. They censor the real 3D world, physical world reality by trying to get you to remove your sign from a parking lot. These people are total control freaks, and they're totally desperate. And if they can pin World War III on Trump, they think that they can get his base to betray him. And I guess they're right, because we don't want the World War. We don't want this intervention. And again, I asked this earlier, where are the peacenik liberals that don't want foreign interventions and don't want more expanded wars? I'm not hearing a peep from them, Dr. Ayyadurai.
Exactly. This is a fascinating thing to watch CNN, to watch a nut job like Howard Dean, Lindsey Graham, John McCain, all coming together. This is no different than when Hillary Clinton ran. You had the Romneys, you had the Obamas, you had the Bushes and the Clintons all come together against the establishment candidate. So I think we're living in very, very exciting times. And it's a great opportunity for a new revolution to take place, whatever form that takes place.
And it's not going to be easy. It wasn't easy in 1776. It's not going to be easy now. But if we win this revolution, we change the world forever. ShivaForSenate.com, ShivaForSenate.com. If you want 12 buses that say a real Indian can defeat a fake Indian, go to ShivaForSenate.com.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.